Topic: What is RAG? Retrieval Augmented Generation. Complete deep dive format. Multi-screen, interview style with code audience. PHP, Laravel developers expanding into AI concepts part 3 of 5. Retrieval and prompt construction queue. How does retrieval actually work at query time? When the user types a question, 3 things happen in sequence. Very fast. Step 1. The question is embedded using the same embedding model used during indexing. It becomes a vector of numbers. Step 2. The vector database performs an AND search. Approximate nearest neighbor. It scans all stored vectors and returns the top k chunks whose vectors are closest to the query. Vector by cosine similarity. Step 3. Those top k chunks are returned as plain text and injected into the LLM prompt as context. The entire retrieval step typically takes 20 to 100 milliseconds. That is faster than a single database join on a large table. Q. What is top k retrieval and how do you choose k? Top k means you retrieve the k most similar chunks from the vector database. K is a number you control. K too small, you might miss relevant information. The answer might be in chunk 4 but you only fetched 3. K too large, you flood the LLM context window with noise. Irrelevant chunks confuse the model and push the real answer out of the effective context range. For most use cases, start with k equals 3 to 5. If answers feel incomplete, increase to 7 or 10. If answers feel noisy or off topic, decrease to 2 or 3. Always measure and tune based on real user queries. Q. What is prompt construction in RAG? After retrieval you have the user's question and a list of relevant text chunks. Prompt construction is how you combine them into a single input for the LLM. The standard pattern looks like this. System. You are a helpful assistant. Answer using only the context provided. If the answer is not in the context, say you do not know. Context. Chunk 1 text. Chunk 2 text. Chunk 3 text. User. What is the refund policy for digital products? The system instruction is critical. Without it, the LLM will ignore your context and answer from its own memory, which defeats the entire purpose of RAG. Q. Why must you tell the LLM to answer only from context? Because LLMs are trained to be helpful. If you just give them context and ask a question, they will use the context and their own memory and fill in gaps with guesses. By explicitly instructing the model to answer only from the provided context, you force grounding. The model cannot hallucinate facts it did not retrieve. If the retrieved chunks do not contain the answer, a properly instructed model will say, I don't know based on the available information. Which is exactly what you want in a production system. Hallucination controlled, trust maintained. Q. What is the difference between semantic search and keyword search in RAG? Keyword search. BM25. Like queries. Elasticsearch. Default. Finds documents that contain the exact words from your query. Fast. Deterministic. Predictable. Fails completely when words do not match. Semantic search. Vector similarity. Finds documents that match the meaning of your query regardless of exact words used. Slower than keyword search but far more powerful for natural language questions. Example. User asks, how do I cancel my subscription? Keyword search finds documents containing those exact words. Semantic search also finds documents about terminating your plan, ending membership, account cancellation process, all relevant, none containing the original words. For RAG, semantic search wins, but hybrid search combining both wins even more. We cover that in part 4. Q. How do you construct the perfect RAG prompt and what are the common mistakes developers make? The prompt is where most RAG implementations fail in subtle ways. The retrieval might be perfect but a badly constructed prompt produces hallucinated or off-topic answers. Mistake 1. No system instruction for grounding. You dump context into the prompt but never tell the model to use only that context. The model happily ignores your documents and answers from training memory. Mistake 2. No fallback instruction. You never tell the model what to do when the retrieved context does not contain the answer. The model fills the gap with a hallucination. Always add. If the answer is not in the context, say you do not know. Mistake 3. Context before question buried. You put 5,000 tokens of context then the question at the very end. Research shows LLMs have a lost in the middle problem. They pay more attention to content at the start and end of the context window. Put the most relevant chunk first or use re-ranking to ensure this. Mistake 4. No source attribution. You give the model context but never ask it to cite which document the answer came from. In production, users need to verify answers. Always ask the model to reference the source chunk it used. Mistake 5. Same prompt for all use cases. A customer support RAG and a legal document RAG need completely different system instructions. Tune your prompt for your specific domain, tone, and failure modes. Q. Tile 5. Retrieve top K chunks from PG vector PHP. Retrieve most relevant chunks using cosine similarity public function retrieve. String $query. int $top K equals 3. Array $query vector equals $this to embed. $query. Return db. Select content from document underscore chunks order by embedding less than equals greater than. Vector limit, quote, JSON underscore encode. $query vector. $top K. Q. Tile 6. Build the RAG prompt PHP. Combine retrieved chunks and user query into prompt public function build prompt. String $query. Array $chunks. String. $context equals collect. $chunks. To pluck. Content. To implode. N. Return. Context. N. $context. N question. $query. N. Answer using only the context above. Quote. If unsure, say you do not know. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video on RAG, complete deep dive part 3. Please like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you never miss the next part. Drop your answer in the comments below and see you in the next video.
Here is your knowledge check question. What is the difference between semantic search? Drop your answer in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon. See you in the next video.